The Bronx, a place where dreams are often overshadowed by the stark realities of urban life. A breeding ground for hustlers, where survival was a daily hustle. The streets were alive with the constant buzz of activity, a symphony of ambition and struggle. George Rivera, they called him Boy George, was born into this. From a young age, he was thrust into a world where innocence was a luxury few could afford. No silver spoon, just the harsh realities of the streets. The cracked sidewalks and graffiti-covered walls were his playground, a testament to the resilience of those who called this place home. Poverty was a suffocating blanket, and opportunity knocked with iron fists. Family life was fractured, with dreams often deferred or shattered. His father, a small-time player in the drug game, was in and out of prison. The revolving door of the criminal justice system was a constant in George's life, a revolving door of hardship. Each time his father left, it was like a piece of the family puzzle was missing, leaving gaps that were hard to fill. His mother, struggling to keep afloat, worked double shifts, her hands calloused, her spirit worn. She was the backbone of the family, holding them together with sheer willpower. George, a watchful observer, learned the language of the streets. He saw the unspoken rules, the silent agreements, and the invisible lines that dictated life in the Bronx. It was a language of desperation, of fleeting moments of joy, and the ever-present threat of violence. The streets taught him lessons that no school could, shaping him into a survivor, ready to face whatever came his way. Amidst the chaos, there were moments of normalcy, playing basketball in a rundown court, laughing with friends, and finding joy in the little things. George found solace in books, escaping into worlds far removed from his own. They were his refuge, a place where he could dream of a different life. Despite the odds, George held on to hope. The city skyline was a constant reminder that there was a world beyond the concrete jungle, a world where dreams could come true. As the sun rose over the Bronx, it brought with it a new day, a new chance. For George, it was a symbol of resilience, a reminder that even in the darkest of places, light could still find a way to shine through. 17 years old, just a teenager by most standards, but in the unforgiving streets, age is just a number. A man in the eyes of the streets. He had to grow up fast, learn the rules of survival, and navigate a world where weakness was not an option. Boy George, with his sharp mind and even sharper instincts, saw an opportunity. He wasn't just another face in the crowd, he was a strategist, always thinking several steps ahead. The drug trade, a venomous serpent, promised wealth and power. It was a dangerous game, but one that offered the kind of rewards that could change a life forever. He embraced the danger, became a shadow, moving silently, learning the intricate dance of supply and demand. Cocaine was his trade. He knew the risks, but the potential for reward was too great to ignore. The white powder, a curse and a blessing, flowed through his fingers like sand. It was both his ticket to fortune and his potential downfall. He built his empire brick by bloody brick, his reputation growing with each deal. Every transaction was a step closer to the top, a testament to his cunning and resolve. Ruthless and calculating, he demanded respect, his name whispered in hushed tones. He was not just a dealer, he was a force to be reckoned with. His crew, loyal soldiers, followed his every command. They were more than just followers, they were his family, bound by a code of loyalty and respect. Together they navigated the treacherous waters of the drug trade, always looking out for one another, always striving for more. By 21, Boy George was a king. He wasn't born into royalty, but he carved out his own kingdom in the heart of the Bronx. From humble beginnings, he rose through the ranks with sheer determination and an iron will. A millionaire many times over. His wealth was not inherited but earned through grit and a keen sense of business, albeit on the wrong side of the law. He ruled his empire from a penthouse overlooking the streets he once roamed. The view from the top was a constant reminder of how far he had come and how much he had to lose. Expensive cars, designer clothes, and a string of beautiful women were the trappings of his success. These were the symbols of his power, the rewards of his relentless ambition. But the streets, they never truly let you go. his ruthlessness became legendary. The same streets that saw his rise were also the stage for his most brutal acts. He dealt in fear, his methods swift and brutal. His reputation was built on the backs of those who dared to defy him, leaving a trail of fear and respect in his wake. Those who crossed him disappeared, their stories ending in whispers and rumors. The streets spoke of his power in hushed tones, a testament to his unyielding grip. He was feared, respected, and envied. His name was synonymous with power, a figure both revered and reviled in equal measure. But at the top, the air is thin, and loneliness is a constant companion. Despite the wealth and power, the isolation was palpable. The higher he climbed, the fewer people he could trust, and the more he realized that true loyalty was a rare commodity in his world. The DEA had a new enemy in their sights: Boy George. His empire, vast and lucrative, attracted unwanted attention. Agents worked tirelessly, piecing together the puzzle of his operation. Wiretaps, informants, and surveillance became their weapons. The net was closing in. Inside his fortress, Boy George felt invincible. He had eyes and ears everywhere, his network of informants rivaling that of the authorities. But trust, like sand, can slip through your fingers. His lieutenant, a man he considered a brother, harbored a secret jealousy, a cancer eating away at his loyalty. Section 5. A Father's Shadow. His father, a constant reminder of the life George had escaped, reappeared. Fresh out of prison, he sought to reconnect with his son, to share in his success. Boy George, wary but not heartless, offered him a chance, a small position within his organization. The old man, however, craved the power and respect his son commanded. He saw an opportunity to regain his lost status, to step out of his son's shadow. Whispers of discontent began to spread through the ranks. The seeds of betrayal were sown. Section 6. The Price of Betrayal. The father, driven by greed and deep resentment, made a deal. He became an informant for the DEA, trading his own son's freedom for leniency and a chance to disappear. He fed them information, access, and ultimately, the key to Boy George's downfall. The betrayal cut deep. The man he had offered a second chance, his own flesh and blood, had orchestrated his downfall. The knowledge stung more than any bullet ever could. Trust, once given freely, now felt like a dangerous liability. Section 7. The system wins. The raid was swift and brutal. DEA agents swarmed Boy George's penthouse like angry wasps. They found him alone, his empire crumbling around him. The weight of his crimes, the years of violence and drug trafficking came crashing down. The trial was a media circus. Prosecutors painted him as a ruthless kingpin, a menace to society. His lawyers, expensive but outmatched, could only plead for leniency. The jury, however, saw only the monster created by the media. The verdict was swift guilty on all counts. Section 8. Iron bars, concrete tomb, life without parole. The words echoed in the courtroom, a life sentence in the cold embrace of the justice system. Gone were the riches, the power, the illusion of control. Now his world was reduced to the confines of a concrete cell. The early days were the hardest. The isolation, the deafening silence, and the constant reminders of his past haunted him. He was a ghost of his former self, stripped of his power and influence. But even in the darkest depths, a flicker of hope remained. Section 9. A Glimmer of Hope. Prison, for all its cruelty, can also be a place of reflection. Boy George found solace in books, devoured knowledge like a starving man. He earned his GED, then a college degree. He discovered a passion for writing, his words a reflection of his tumultuous journey. He mentored younger inmates, urging them to break the cycle of crime and poverty. He shared his story, not with pride, but with a sense of responsibility. His past, a cautionary tale. His present, a testament to the possibility of change. Section 10. Redemption's Long Shadow. Redemption is a long and arduous journey, especially within the unforgiving walls of prison. Boy George, once a symbol of fear and brutality, now seeks to use his past as a catalyst for change. He knows he can never atone for his crimes, but he can strive to make a difference. He clings to the hope of one day walking free, a changed man. Until then, he writes, he learns, and he teaches. His story, a reminder that even in the darkest corners a glimmer of hope can shine through.